Hello, welcome, bonsoir, kalispera. What is in Dutch? I don't remember. From wonderful Cheshire, England, for myself, Chrisoula, the Golden Muse. One wonderful evening here, having these beautiful women coming from different parts of the world. I'm so truly honored. So thank you for joining us today. Dedicated this online women's circle in new moon in Cancer, which already happened, but we are under the spell of a new moon, and it's a wonderful space to set new intentions. This is what the new moon is. It's actually the time for you to say what you like to manifest in the next 28 days, in the next month. So, and we're going to do that with a bit of exploration, a bit of analysis, a bit of getting into the energy and psychology of color turquoise. Okay, you can see us all wearing a bit of turquoise. So, and why turquoise? Because Cancer is a water sign, and turquoise is very much connected with the element of water, blue and water and flow and emotions. So Cancerians, for those of us who are Cancerians, myself and Constance, anybody else, put your hand up if you're a Cancerian? No? We are very emotional beings indeed. So, and sometimes we actually, emotions can, it's good to be connected with your emotions, but sometimes emotions, if you don't know how to handle them, they can hold you back big time. So how do you deal with emotions? How do you bring your emotions and you communicate your emotions? That's something that turquoise can help you with. And apart from emotions, it's also how to be more in your creative flow, how you can connect with your heart. Because turquoise, it's actually between your heart and your throat chakra. For those of you who knows anything about chakras, the energy center systems that actually, help us to be in the flow, in alignment with our beings when they are actually in harmony and in balance. So turquoise is placed between the heart, the green of the heart, and the blue of the throat. And then we have beautiful turquoise. On today's call, online Women's Circle, I'm delighted we got with us Moira Bush. Moira has been part of my life, and for the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years now. And Moira, she's my teacher of color mirrors. I'm a certified teacher myself in this language and psychology of color, including other ladies here connected on the call today, coming from Canada. Hello, ladies, Canadian ladies. And Moira is also the author of the 8 colors of prosperity. Turquoise is one of these colors of prosperity. Yes, there you go. There you go. Woo-hoo. Welcome, Moira. Welcome on the call. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Thank you.
So congratulations, Moira, on your new book. And it's truly amazing how you actually, when you set your mind to it, you are a taskmaster. You are. You just you go ahead and make it happen. You're a true inspiration. Absolutely. Now, for those of you who wonder why not I'm wearing this hat, cap, whatever it's called, well, it's actually got it from Paris. I met Tiffany in Paris as well, together with Connie Lee, and my bridesmaid Joanna, and my maid of honor Vanna. And I'm getting married on Sunday, 2nd of July. Yay! Yes, well, thank you. And that's the way I put it at on, but I think I want to take that off because it's actually too hot, to be honest with you. So there you go. So now you see my wild hair coming up. There, that's it. So turquoise. Turquoise in your book, particularly connected with your book, Moira, you're talking about helping you to be visible, helping you to understand that if you're afraid of public speaking, there's a good reason for it. And the reason behind is actually you're holding yourself back from really connecting with your true value. So when you are afraid of speaking up, it means that somehow you're not connected with who you are, with your true essence, with your true power. You may connect it, but you don't dare, you don't take the step to say, hey, I really want to share this message with you. I've got something of good value here. And that's the connection, that's how turquoise supports us. But Moira, you've got a few other beautiful things shared in your book. And I'd like to hear it from you, your connection with turquoise in your life, how turquoise has helped you personally.
Wow. Well, thank you for inviting me on the show. Always lovely to see your face, and all those beautiful faces on the screens in front of me. Welcome, and thank you so much for coming on. I think this is, and you're all kind of in turquoise. It's like we all knew.
Yes. Yes, color coordinated and all.
No, what is so interesting is the question about what's turquoise done for me in my life. Those are my colors. I'm an Aquarian, so an Aquarian is according to the color mirror system, a turquoise color. We're an air sign, but as a water carrier. And I remember the first time I saw the color mirrors bottles lined up in front of me, and they were all turquoise, and they were all related to my date of birth. I was a little bit taken aback because it's not the shade of blue I've always liked. I've always liked a more sky blue. If I was to say blue was a color I liked. And when Melissa put those turquoise bottles in front of me, my body had a response to it. And that's kind of why I like the color mirror system, because beyond what you're thinking or your beliefs or your expectations of life and colors are, the colors, once they line up in front of you, your body just automatically responds. And for me, it was very emotional. And when Melissa started interpreting what those turquoise colors meant, I just went, how the hell does she know? How does she know my whole life story in those few little turquoise bottles? So that's the first time I really had a connection to turquoise as a color. Mm-hmm. And I have to tell you that the most recent connection that I've had to color, besides writing the book, which is a very turquoise experience, is I bought a new sofa, which you can see in the background, and I wanted to put some lovely sort of red and blue and kind of, pillows on it. And I found this wonderful color shade of blue with some red dots on it on the internet, and I ordered it, and boof, what arrived? Turquoise with red dots. Now, I know you're not going to be able to quite see the shade here quite clearly, but it's a lot more green. It's not blue, it's green, it's more turquoise. And I thought, what the hell's going on here? So I sat with the pillows on the sofa for a couple of days, and all these emotions and anger and feelings suddenly started coming up. So I was prompted to go and have a look at this combination, mm-hmm. turquoise with red, mm-hmm. in Melissa Karani's book, Color Conversations. Yes. And I read Chrisoula, I read the whole thing of the conversation between all the different combinations of turquoise and red. And at the end of it, I was steaming, was coming out my head, and I immediately posted a message to Melissa. I said, Melissa, now I'm throwing her teachings back at her. Do you know that everything you and Karani says about that color combination is negative? Her photographs of these pillows. And the only response she could give that was the most appropriate response was, don't leave him until you get your visa. Now, for those of you who don't know what the red and turquoise means, it means divorce.
Really?
It says, don't leave. It's huge separation. And so I looked at the pillows for a while, and Paul was kind of tiptoeing around me for a few days while I left the pillows on the sofa when I told him that it meant I'm going to get divorced. So thankfully, the last couple of days I went out and bought the right shade of blue that I actually wanted for that sofa. As you can see, it's indigo, white and silver at the back now. Yes. But yeah, I've had this run-in with turquoise lately, and I think this Cancer moon is affecting people's mental health. To be honest with you, Chrisoula, because all I've been meeting for the last couple of weeks is people with mental issues and mental health issues, and they are reeling. It's literally like a ping pong ball going off in a room, and it's bouncing backwards and forwards. So I think this is a very appropriate time for all of us to focus a little bit on turquoise. So thank you for the show and for this opportunity that we can all air our turquoise.
Yes. Well, thank you, Moira, for joining us, and thank you for all of you who are saying yes to showing up, because it may be for your first time being on the video, it may be that, Or it may be that you've always wanted to be on a video call and you never dared, you didn't have the courage, or the circumstances were not in favor. But there's your chance today. And I will give you all the opportunity to say a few words, because this is the best way to say, hello, I am here to communicate and share my message. Whatever comes out of your mouth, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely perfect, because that's what we believe in Color Mirrors. There is no right or wrong, right? So it's actually what comes out of you. It's what is destined to share with the world and from your heart. And turquoise is the heart of heartfelt communication. So how do I interpret that in my words? When you are so clear, so solid in your heart, what you really want in your life, who you are, you have no hesitation of just sharing it. And that was a huge, for me, it wasn't easy. I have never been sort of here like doing this job, creating this platform all over, since whenever, but I just felt the calling. I felt that I've got that when you feel that you are connected with something, we have a gift. You have a gift of communicate. You have a gift of sharing. You have a gift of, a passion, whatever that passion is. How do you serve the world by not sharing it? How do you serve the world? That's the question. And the turquoise for me is that, gives that, makes us ask ourselves, how do you really step up and serve the world? By keeping yourself small, by not showing up. And 2017 is the year that you and I and all of us, we put the seeds down. What we really want to have in the next new year, 9-year cycle. So whatever you say yes to it in this year, it will be absolutely amazing for you for the following year. So it will be much easier for you the following years. So starting knowing a little bit about where you are in your psychology and using, what color you are and helping yourself say, be more clear about your intentions and what you like to receive and give in the next 9 years. That's the perfect timing, right? So I would like to ask you all, before we have Moira and ask her some questions, I would like to ask you, what's your connection with color? And is there a color that particular speaks to you? And if you are a Color Mirrors practitioner or teacher, you can equally say a few words about how has it evolved for you? How has the experience been for you? So I'm giving you a few options here. You can take and share whatever comes naturally, spontaneously, okay? So you don't need to say, oh, I should have prepared, whatever. No, you don't need to prepare. Okay, so who would like to start? Is there anybody who would like to start? If you put your hand up, or I'll pick you, because you know what, I've been a teacher for 25 years. I'm good at that. So who okay, I think Susan put her hand up first. Okay, hello, Susan.
Hello. So here we are.
Hi.
Sarah, yes.
Sarah and I are neighbors. We're color mirror teacher neighbors.
Yay.
Same street.
On the same street, just across the street.
Just across the street from each other.
Wow, how lucky you are to have each other so close.
So lucky.
We are so lucky.
So lucky.
And so it's kind of weird the way our lives have kind of, just intermingled together, and all these crazy synchronicities. Our front doors are both turquoise, which is kind of interesting.
The backs of our front doors are both turquoise color.
Wow.
Not many people have turquoise color doors.
And they were painted before we really knew each other. Okay, so today we're just looking down at our feet. So we're laughing because I'm wearing turquoise and she's wearing coral.
Yes, which is a complimentary. Yeah, fabulous.
I want to talk about coral. She wants to talk about turquoise.
Okay.
And we just looked down as we're sitting here, and my toenails are coral, and hers are turquoise. So we're like, we have so much fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
So I'm just gonna briefly talk, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Sarah.
Okay.
So, so I became a Color Mirrors practitioner, teacher. Practitioner in October and a teacher in April. And this system has completely changed my life. and I love color. And I've known about color since like the 80s when I lived in the UK. And I used to read about color all the time, and I understood that there was a connection between what I wore and my actual mood. So I had this understanding of it. So I was blessed to be introduced to Moira through Sarah, actually. She had her to her house, and the rest is history. But yeah, so color is just amazing. But I do want to address coral, because coral is one of my favorite colors, and it being the opposite of turquoise, that's why I thought I would talk about that. And for me, coral is about unconditional love and unconditional self-acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And those two things, I feel that is a message that I want to share with the world, and I want to help people reach that point in their lives, because I feel that if people can reach that place in their lives, what they can do is they can create miracles in their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
And to help bring them to there. And I do that with color mirrors, and I do that with sound. I work with singing bowls and whatnot. So that's where I go with that. And I can't say enough about the system. I live it, I breathe it. It's in my life every day. It's in my whole family's life, whether they want it to be or not. They have no choice. Pick a spray. Yeah, pick a spray as they're leaving out the door, kind of thing. So it's really wonderful, and it's full of magic. And Sarah and I talk often. We have procrastination meetings where we'll just get together and have tea, and
they're called T&P parties.
T&P parties.
Tea and procrastination.
Tea and procrastination. And we're procrastinating from other things that we're supposed to be doing.
But they're very effective.
They are. We get together and we talk about color mirrors and where we're going to go and what we could do, and we bounce ideas.
We manifest. Actually, it was on the new Muse. We had a manifesting party, basically, is what it turned into. And we have some very exciting things to share about that, but we'll keep it a secret for now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me, and that's who I am. I live in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, and I work out of my home across the street. And
we're in my greenhouse right now.
Yeah, we're in her greenhouse, and that's us. And I'm so happy to be here, and I look forward to the explosion of color in Canada, because I believe it's going to happen. Bam! It's going to happen. It is. Yeah. It's going to be an explosion of color, kind of like the picture sitting next to Moira. And yes. So for anyone who can see that.
Yes, we can see it. Yes.
Over to Sarah.
Okay, well, that is a great segue, because I agree that color is going to explode. I feel that, and I think the whole Canadian team is feeling this as well. And it's just really beautiful to watch the unfoldment of really all of our manifestations coming together at once, and just to watch that bloom. And again, the system is magical, and this is something that I believe of this world, is that it can be magical, and we just need that reminder. And I think we need these little games, because some people can look at the system and think, what is that? How can color actually change? Why give this a shot? And the thing that I like about it is it's patterns. Color is just patterns. It's a language of the universe, in the same way that we use numbers, and the same way that we use even our language, right? And so this is just a magical pattern that can fit into.
Okay, right. There was
had a phone call.
Sorry.
I there,
what?
That's okay. We're back.
You're back. Yes.
So yeah, it's just really awesome to see this beautiful unfoldment of all of our manifestations that we've co-created collectively together come together. And I'll talk about turquoise because, like Susan said, it's on the back of my door. And I moved back into this house after traveling around the world for a year and a half. I was in Chile and Southeast Asia. And so I came back into my house and I painted it all white, except for the back of my door. I thought, that needs a splash of color. And I painted turquoise. And I also happened to have these turquoise pillows that were stored away, and this turquoise drape that I put up temporarily in my window, and it's still there to this day. And I needed that turquoise in my life before I even had anything to do with color mirrors. And it's only after once I got into color mirrors, I realized it was because I had to get more in touch with my emotions. And so it took me that year through this beautiful, releasing and discovery period of letting go of past emotions. And I really think that it was the turquoise. Oh, and this is a fun fact as well. I always pick paint colors based on the names, and it was called Dolphin Den.
Oh.
So I was really visualizing dolphins and just the
Yes,
essence
playful.
that playful and bring the joy and that effortless of like how dolphins just, they don't have any attachments and they just live their life. And so bringing that energy, and then the dolphin spray, a part of the system. So
Yes.
it's just amazing. And the turquoise on my nails, as we mentioned earlier, the paint color is called Fly. And as I am receiving with the coral and have that balance with my emotions, it's just amazing to watch things be effortless as they unfold and just to really fly.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
turquoise is the color of helps you with being in the flow of life, being in flow with the river of life, or the stream of life, as Abraham Hicks calls it. And yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarah. And Sarah, would you like to share your website address or somewhere a contact that your Canadian friends can get in touch with you?
A part of the explosion of color is something that I'm putting all my efforts and love into right now, and that's creating a platform and a network so that we can, share similar things to what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I think it's amazing. And so it's called facebook.com/Sarah Inspiring TV.
Brilliant. Thank you. I've seen your videos, Sarah. They're very, very absolutely beautiful, and I love your style too. I love your cheekiness.
Gotta keep that.
So, Susan, have you got a way of connection with you, or some sort of website or Facebook? Or
connect with me on Facebook. Susan McKenzie is my Facebook page, and I SUSAN MCKENZIE.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add your names and your some sort of connection when I put the actual link out, so people will know that who was on the call. Okay, so you can I will tag you in. All right. So fabulous. Okay, so Moira, how does that make you feel that you got your actually, people are so close to you now, Canada. I've got to say that Moira actually used to live in England. Okay, and before that, she used to live in South Africa. So she's South African, right? So she's gone through all of these changes in your life, Moira, and now you're spreading your message and your passion and your teachings and your wisdom in Canada, somewhere like Ontario area, is it? Yeah. So how does it make you feel that you see us here talking about all of these things, that we are in the flow?
Well, it's a dream come true, because I've been at this for over 15 years, and I don't have a business and I don't have a platform for a message unless I have a team that works with me. And Paul and I often talk about it, and I got lucky in England with you and the team there that were amazing. And just look at the first two guests you've interviewed now, Susan and Sarah. I got lucky again. So I am, yes. And yeah, Melissa every now and again drops me a line as well and say, how did you do that? No, I do feel very blessed. Yes.
Yes. And we are feeling blessed that you are in our lives, Moira. I like to say that. And without sort of saying, oh, it's your teacher and all of that, it is true. You've got to show gratitude for the people you've got in your life. Okay.
And the biggest thing about doing this work for 15 years is I've had the privilege over long periods of time and years to see people grow. I remember when I first met you almost 5 years ago, and I look at you now, you're getting married. I mean, wow. To watch people heal and grow and get confidence and expand themselves and move out of their comfort zones, it's just absolutely amazing. So I think I'll just have to come back a few more lifetimes and do it again, because it's kind of like a sugar rush.
Well, it's the fact that I like to give I would say the microphone, but it's not the microphone. I'd like to give you I like Joe for you to say a few words, because Joe is I met Joe in our team here in England. Okay, so Joe, I'm going to unmute you. That's it. And
Hello.
and I haven't seen you for quite a long time, my dear love.
I haven't seen you for ages.
No.
I missed you guys. Hi, Moira.
Hug.
Really, really missed you guys. Yeah.
So how has it been for you? You know, any changes in your life? Any sort of aha things? You know.
I stepped out of all this for a little bit. I didn't really know where I was going. Had a bit of a tough year last year, but funnily enough, it was turquoise that brought us through. If I hadn't have had silver spheres, Moira, thank you, and colour mirrors to fall back on, last year would have been so much harder.
Mm-hmm.
But now, yeah, no, especially with this new moon that's happened and the colours, things are interesting now. We've got another Facebook page up. I've got Etsy pages up, but it's all crystals and colour, and it's just helping everything. And I love it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jo. Jo, you're based in Bath or near Bath, right?
Yeah, not far out of it. We're Bradford-on-Avon, so we're Wiltshire rather than Avon. Yeah.
Okay, so what is your website address or your Facebook that people can connect with you?
I've started doing, so it's my name, Jo Gom, and it's energy therapy at the minute on Facebook. So yeah, that's a good one to connect with me on. The website is going under a little bit of a transition at the minute, so hopefully up and running soon. So yeah.
The thing is, what I've learned from the work with color mirrors, but also from my life, is actually keep moving. For me, it's like always making, taking the step and take that inspired action. Because if you just keep thinking about it too much and you start analyzing all this bit, all of that, then you say, what have I done? Where am I now? Still in the same place.
Yeah.
And that could be very, very sort of disheartening, instead of saying, okay, even if I make a mistake, even if things I didn't move forward the way I wanted to move forward, if I had an expectation, at least I moved and then I learned something. I met somebody, that's the key thing about, explosion, as we call it in Canada, or expansion or evolution for some others. So, right. I like to come back to you, Moira, because I like to bring in the energies of turquoise. I'd like Catherine to say a few words because, in a short while, I will come to you, Catherine. Okay. Moira, with turquoise, because in your book, you're talking about the little devils or some, that actually keep us from really connecting with our truth and our potential and understanding exactly what we want and moving forward. But the moving forward, I guess, is actually in different directions. You see it, loving yourself and attracting, receiving love. Equally, living in a life of joy. So whatever you do, whatever you are actually doing, experiencing, brings you joy, and you share this joy. And then when you have this combination, you're feeling more able to say to the universe, yeah, I'm ready to have more money in my life too. How does turquoise help us with all of that, in the whole cycle of prosperity?
Actually, you've already mentioned it. It's about that movement energy. I think I've just been thinking about, having mentioned how I've recently had this little run-in with the red and turquoise. But by the way, Sarah, I think these pillows will find a home in yours because you're the one that's not married and going to get divorced. So anytime I'm going to pick them up, come get them, girl. Just
nice greenhouse, actually.
Amazon sales pitch there. So what I think happens with the turquoise and the red is sometimes when we feel like we're treading water, we're not getting anywhere with our businesses, we're not getting anywhere with our relationships, whatever you feel you're just kind of not getting a tread on. I think sometimes the red will come in to just put a little bit of a fire under your backside to get you going, so to speak. So I think for people that are very related to, the water signs, the Cancers, the Aquarians who relate to the turquoise, anybody who's kind of sitting with that. And then, of course, anytime we've got this moon stuff going on, it's affecting the tidal systems and bringing up our emotions as well. Mm-hmm. And you know, we know that it's a fact that when it's full moon, you know, the psychiatric wards kind of batten down hatches because it just stirs up emotions in people that are mentally unstable. So I think that the red coming into the turquoise just says, okay, let's just give you some energy. Let's put some fire in, create some, because if fire and water mixes, we're going to get steam, and it's going to get you a bit steamed up, but you're going to get moving. You can't sit on a hot coal. You're going to have to move. You're going to have to get going. And I think the area in our life where we get stuck the most is technology. And I love what Chrisoula said at the beginning of this call about how if you don't put your message out there, how can you add value to the world? How can you actually make a difference? You have to take, even the Dalai Lama, when I heard him speak in Manchester, he said that you can have as much faith and as much belief as you want, but without action, it actually has no value. So I think the turquoise is a kind of like a comma on our journey that says take a pause, do a health check on your emotional status so that you can take action and get moving for the next phase. So I think it'll be interesting to see after the phase of this moon what is going to happen for us. Are we going to flatline again? Because I think we've had a period of about 2 weeks where we felt we were a little bit flatlining and we had no energy, and is it going to pick up for us? But if it doesn't, please use some red to help the turquoise energies, and possibly even the complementary coral. Coral is also about taking action and getting you going. I think do you know what, Chrisoula, I know this must sound funny to you guys, but I channeled this book, and I have to actually, when you ask me questions in the book, I have to frantically go look in the page and think, what did I write? Chrisoula, at this point, you know more about this chapter turquoise than I do.
Well, you're talking about clearly about you know, being visible. Turquoise is all about visibility and speaking up, and you know, how you actually you share your message, and when you use the emotions and the words around your emotions,
Yes.
how you actually you send the message to the universe, and it's all about the law of attraction as well. Okay.
Completely. And I actually, for some reason, I left this book here during this call. I've just started a new manifestation book, because in the 8 Pillars of Prosperity, I always say, you know, get images out there in terms of what it is you want to manifest. I'll just quickly run you over a page here. So, for example, I've spoken here about having a happy family. So I use the words happy, and for specific things that I want to manifest in my life, I've put images of certain bottles to help manifest, and certain colors to help manifest what it is that I want. So I do think that if there's anything that you want to heal in your life that's to do with relationships and emotions, is, you know, go and print out a couple of images of turquoise bottles and turquoise colors, and just put those in your manifestation book, because it really sets the intention, universe, that you want to move forward with that part of your life. You don't want it to be stuck anymore.
So I like the fact that I really like the fact that you say manifestation book rather than a vision board, for example.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I'm saying is because we have used the word vision boards quite a lot in the last few years, I guess. But by bringing the word manifestation book, is actually you really, that's what you exactly want to do when you say a vision board. The actual intention is to manifest it, right? To bring it into your life. But if you start from the beginning, say manifestation book or manifestation board, if you like, then it highlights the whole thing, the whole intention. Yeah.
And you know I was so validated at the book launch because I met Jack Canfield, and he's written the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and recently sold that business for $60 million. That franchise.
Wow.
But it took it. He was rejected 33 times, I think it was, before somebody actually wanted to print the book, the first Chicken Soup for the Soul. And so he was a real inspiration to me for the book launch. And when we had our little private chat, and he asked for a copy of my book, and I was chatting to him, he asked me, so what is the book about? And I said, well, you know, the law of attraction works with the energy of colors. And he nodded his head. He said, yes, absolutely, that's how it works. So, and he asked if he could contact me, and he took my phone number and my details at that point in time. So I know that what we're sitting with here is something that people haven't yet put into their consciousness. And I think we as a team that understands the color psychology and are busy learning how the law of attraction works, we are really been given an opportunity here to use technology, to use books, to use our teachings, to put that message of color manifests everything in your life, whether you're thinking it, wearing it, feeling it, eating it, drinking it, meditating with it. It is going to manifest and definitely speed up, you know, whatever it is that you want to attract into your life, and whatever you want to heal and let go of it. We know already as healers that is what it does. So I think I'm hoping that this book is just the first of many, not just that I'm going to be writing, but that each one of you are going to go out and write. So get going with writing.
Yay! Well, the thing is, if somebody says to me, what is color? How does color work? And I would say there are two particular words that I would say. Color is an uplifter.
Yes.
You know, uplifts you. And even if you don't work with a color mirror system, color overall surrounding you uplifts you. And when you work with the energy of color, then it is actually even deeper and even more sort of gets into your cells. And then you see the real results. And also, color is an activator.
Oh, yes.
So it's not just to say, because we say, okay, you've got to know who you are. And of course, you know, Socrates and all the wonderful philosophers, Greek philosophers said, know yourself and all of that. And of course, it is part of the process, helps you to understand more of who you are and understand more of your gifts and your shadow self and your patterns, as Sarah was mentioning before. And, you know, even help you to, if there are any areas that you bring back from your past lives, you know, to release all of that. So there's enough. But for me, is actually once you say, okay, that's what I want. How do you get there? By just saying, okay, that's the diagnosis, that's where I am, and how to get to actually achieving it. There's a big gap in there. And that's how the color, in my opinion, from my experience, it helps you bring that into reality.
And I kind of know exactly how that works now. It's only taken me 15 years to figure out, but I kind of know now. In that moment between when you go, this is what I want, and this is where I'm at right now. How do I get there? In that gap sits your shadow self. In that gap sits the parts of you, the patterning, the programming that says you can't do this. You're not good enough. You don't have enough value. Who do you think you are? And every belief system that sits there blocking us, of which we can only see surface. We can only see some of it. There's a whole bunch of programming and kind of, you know, DNA encoded information that sits there that we cannot possibly see to know to move it out the way. And that's where the magic of color comes in, because it deals with the shit we can see and what we cannot see. Whether we like it or not, it will do both sides. It'll always work with your conscious and your unconscious body. I mean, that's the whole process about us having dual colored bottles. We have a bottom fraction and top fraction. So I think that's the real magic of the color mirror system, as opposed to just working with color, you know, from other different teachings and other systems. But color mirrors is Melissa's designed it in such a way that it's going to do the top and the bottom part. It's going to clear you out inside and out so that you can move forward. I completely get that I wouldn't be sitting here having written my second book, having talked to you, seeing all these amazing faces that I've had the privilege of sharing the color knowledge to. And I wouldn't actually be physically alive right now if it wasn't for these color bottles that Melissa made. And I owe my life to her. I owe my life to these bottles.
And if you are in the process of wanting some inspiration in your life, sort of receiving some I will say inspiration in the process of writing, or you're having a bit of a mental block or writer's block or whatever you call it. Jill actually used turquoise when she was writing her book. Before I go to you, Catherine, I'm going to, she still's got it there you are. So Jill Barham has been part of the Life Holistic Calls, the New Moon Circles, a lot of my awakening events happening in Cheshire for the last 4 years or 5 years now.
Centuries.
And she has recently also written her own book, published her own book, and she said to me, see, actually, the water elemental was the one that you worked with, didn't you? You had it by your side on your desk while you were writing your book. And yeah, so your book is called The Heart of a Woman. So all of these you ladies, I highly recommend this book, because Jill's perspective, she's coming from is not as spiritual as what we're talking about, color and color psychology, color energy. However, she's spiritual. She doesn't even know it. That's another thing. She's actually talking about, connecting, everything you do from a nutritional point of view, how you nurture, you feed your body, to connect, all the different systems of your body to be in balance, in harmony. And you can be spiritual, but if you're not looking after yourself, you're looking after your body, and that's a very coral issue as well. So you're here, Jill, because you say turquoise, but also you're working with really coral issues, like helping the body to be nourished and loved and cared. And then when you are in that space, then other things can manifest as well. And then you're helping the heart and all of that. So highly recommend to get on Jill Barham's website, because you can get a book and you only have to pay. I hope it's still the case.
For the moment, yeah, you still have to pay just the postage for the moment.
Just for so if you want to go ahead and get a book, I highly recommend it, because there's so much you can learn, and we can learn as women, but we can pass it on to our friends, our daughters, our, in whatever connections you're making. But first of all, for yourself. Sometimes we're very good at saying we can do things for others, but we don't think about ourselves as women. So just go ahead and do it for you. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, because the title, the subtitle of the book is How to Look After the Heart You Give to the World.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Because I see so many women, and particularly entrepreneurial women, and particularly heart-centered or heart-based business owners, who are very good at giving away all their stuff and putting themselves last, basically. And so that's a lot of my message. And it's quite interesting that I think, when I wrote the book, I didn't realize that the person that I had to work on the most was myself. So since I wrote the book, which is about 9 months ago now, I can't believe it's gone so quickly. Actually, my life has really changed, and the way I feel about myself, and getting into that kind of aligned state, and getting to the stage where I'm beginning to manifest things, and really listening to that sort of creativity, and listening to the voice within, and doing things that are in the flow, as Abraham would say, not upstream but downstream, going with things that are easy, beginning to listen to what your heart is telling you. So most of the work actually has been done about myself, and then as people would say, once you've done the work on yourself, then actually you begin to attract the people that want to work with you.
Absolutely. And then there's a saying, you help me to put it right, but something, because I've been a teacher all my life, and I feel that you've got to learn something and then deliver it and share it, and that's the art of passing on knowledge, passing on wisdom. So whatever you need to learn the most for yourself, that's what you're going to actually go ahead and teach as well. So when you say yes to turquoise, it's because you're ready also to pass on and share your knowledge. So and
Moira, just to say that we're wearing turquoise because the school teacher told us to. wear turquoise or coral. Don't show up unless you've got turquoise or coral on.
I created a monster.
I am. So going back to back to Susan. Sorry, Jill. Going back to Susan and Sarah. The fact that you're so much drawn to turquoise is an indication that there you are. You're teaching now. So, ta-da!
What's really interesting is that was the period. Do you remember, Chrisoula? And I kept sending you pictures of turquoise. Wherever I was, I kept saying, "Look, more turquoise."
Yes.
I was on a beach. There was turquoise, and everything I was sending was turquoise. My business colours are not turquoise, but I've been drawn to them for a long, long time. All of a sudden, I think it was that creativity thing, and I just needed it. I don't feel I need it as much now, because I feel that I've kind of moved into, I don't know what I've moved into now, but at the time, for about 4 months, I don't think I could function without it. It's very good.
Well, the colors come into our lives for for you may be drawn for a period of time to a particular color, but we're going through different phases in life, and we are evolving. So I used to, when I was a child, I used to wear a lot of red. My God, everything was red, and it was not my choice, because my parents felt that red suits me, so I was wearing red. But now I wear lots of other colors, and like including yellow or purple. And when I use yellow, purple in me, it's like they say, wow, they say, that really suits you. But did I know that yellow is my color? My date of birth comes to number 10, and I'm number 1. So yellow is indeed my color, and the complementary to it is purple. So there you go. So I didn't know that when I was a child, though. So that'd be interesting as a mother, as a father, to say, okay, so what colors am I actually giving to my children? What clothes am I? What kind of mood am I creating in their rooms? That's it. You can use color psychology in different ways as well. So that's why I'm giving you, for those of you who are going to watch back, say, well, I don't want to use it in that direction. I don't see it. Yeah, but you do use color in your decoration, in your house, in your branding, in your, in many other ways. Right. So, Catherine, I'm coming to you now. Right. So you are also based in very close to where Moira and Susan and Sarah are, right?
Absolutely. I'm part of the Canadian color team.
Yes.
And enjoying it, and so enjoying this conversation today. It's wonderful. Thank you very much for hosting and including.
Well, thank you for being on the call.
I love her color.
My passion with the color is using the color analysis in relationships. And so with regards to the turquoise, it's wonderful. The first of all, with the emotions, allowing yourself to feel the emotions, try to, understand them, don't push them down, sort of work through them. But then with the heartfelt communication, with really being able to communicate, whether it's, with yourself or with loved ones or co-workers or that kind of thing, really putting your heartfelt words into what you have to say, and building the relationships that way. So I love all of this. All this stuff is great.
So
color.
So relationships. So you're seeing a relationship in a work environment, in a family environment. Between parents and children. You see that all of these type of different relationships, right?
Yes, and even the relationship you have with yourself.
Yes.
That's the big one where it starts. That sort of unconditional love, or the, really. Getting to know what it is you are all about, what your messages are, how you feel, and putting that to voice, and then being able to, share that forward is it's great.
I can see Moira is about to say something. Moira, would you like to contribute?
Catherine, there's something you're saying there that's resonating with me, that relationship with yourself. I think that whenever we do a turquoise bath, we connect with the turquoise oils. It's a very intimate experience, because it is the only time that we can actually give our inner voice a chance to be heard by ourselves, if that makes sense, without us needing to have to speak to a psychologist or a counselor or a healer. We really can be our own inner healer, and turquoise allows us to do that. So I think turquoise baths to me are always very intimate time with my, with the different aspects that make up who I am.
I like the fact that you brought the color bathing treatment. Thank you, Moira. Thank you, because I tend not to mention it. I don't know, for whatever reason. I say lots of other things, but I don't talk about the color bathing treatment. So thank you for that, Moira. So yes, it is a whole part about color healing. It's people say they're very happy to hear about their colors and everything, but when it comes to say yes to have a color healing bath experience, they just say, no, I'm okay, I've got it, and I'm not moving forward, I'm not doing anything else. And at that point, Catherine, when it comes to relationships, coming back to you, how do you actually use the color to help relate? So is it just to identify where you are, which is a great thing, a great way of doing it, and then do they actually say yes to actually connect with the bottle and then work with it? How do you?
Absolutely. And I'm finding most of it is the unconscious part, when we can really identify or have those aha moments with, oh my gosh, I've been running that belief system or that program that I wasn't quite aware of. And then I can identify that, and that's what's been keeping me blocked either in my relationships or keeping me blocked or stuck with myself or with my coworkers, or expanding my relationships or business or love or whatever it is. I love when they kind of have that moment, well, oh, taking ownership of their role or their part in it. And then once they've identified that, they can shift it. Once you know better, you do better, you can work with it. And then getting into that bath and really having that experience. Yeah, it's all very magical.
I would like to ask Constance, because Constance is not a practitioner yet. I think she's actually feeling into it, and she's very keen to know more about color healing and energy. And she's been having a lot of sort of, in the last year or so, you had a lot of bottles you bathed in as well, Constance, and you used spritzers. Yes. Constance is based in Holland, by the way, for those who haven't connected with Constance yet before. And Constance, also from your experience, how do you, if someone says to you, so okay, what is it that you feel when you are having this color bathing treatment? From your because every bottle offers different treatment, different experience, right? So if you just share your experience with color energy, color healing.
Yeah, well, I learned, of course, about color mirrors from you because we met at the Heart IQ Academy, and we studied there and learned a lot about speaking from the heart. So that's why turquoise, is a logical color for me, because I really want to do that. I really want to speak from the heart, and somehow that gets all connected, even not when you don't know it, because I was using turquoise 2 years ago. I wasn't, and suddenly that just came in, and I didn't understand it at that moment. And then later, I read things about it. I heard things about it from Chrisoula, and I was just simply getting, oh wow, I've done a lot of things with colors that I wasn't aware of, that I was already doing. So yeah, that got me so interested, and so I really wanted to know more. So I bought your book, Moira, and I nearly finished it. It's really, really beautiful, and it has such a simple way of explaining things, which makes it easy to understand for myself, but also to speak to it about, to speak to other people about it and say, hey, I learned something very, very interesting, because this is really what it's all about in the essence. It's like it's picks the essence out of it. So yeah, I'm only getting more and more attracted to color and working with that, and hopefully I can do something in Holland with color mirrors.
Wow.
Awesome.
Beautiful. So I would like to, because it's already 9 o'clock here UK time, and for some of you, maybe you are in wonderful afternoon in Canada, but some others would like to go to bed soon. So I would like,
somebody's getting married soon and needs
no, I really love it being here with you. Absolutely, I love every single moment of it, because we have, normally it's between 8 and 9:15, and I like to use the last 15 minutes as creatively as possible to give the best value to everybody who's going to watch this back again. Is there something in particular, Moira, that you feel that you would like to share at this point in time? It could be about turquoise, or it could be about coral, because here we are, we've got these last few minutes that we can bring a bit of coral energy in the call.
I've been dealing recently, the last couple of weeks, with clients that are literally losing the plot and suicidal thoughts coming up for people. So I know that we're in a very tentative period of evolution on the planet, And the turquoise is just triggering the emotions within us to say, you've got to deal with your wounded inner child.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to go back on your timeline and do the healing work so that you can forgive your mother, you can forgive your father, you can forgive yourself, you can forgive everybody that's ever hurt you, and let the burden of the unforgiveness leave your body. Let the turquoise waters purge it from your body. When you do that, you'll find that your mental state will improve. You'll find that you'll be able to deal a lot easier with memories and with your feelings. And I just deeply, deeply, deeply recommend a turquoise bath. Go bathe in the turquoise color and help stabilize your mental body and help stabilize your body so you can feel safe on the planet again.
Oh, what's that? That's a like a ding ding ding. Yes. So yeah. It's sometimes we keep seeing the same patterns coming up in our lives, and it's not easy for us to identify why the same pattern, the same thing, and then it's like another bong on the face and say, come on, are you gonna get it this time? Where are you gonna get it? And then there's a point where you say, well, no, you really want to dig deep and understand exactly what it is, but also, as Moria said, it's about releasing, it's about letting go. And again, under the energy of new moon, it's really beautiful to have a bath treatment, to have a meditation. But meditation is not always just to spend 5 minutes and say whatever you're going to say. Meditation is also allowing some time for you to connect with your spirit, if you like, where you're in nature, where you take your dog out for a walk. It doesn't have to be the classical way of meditation that you have to stay tuned in a room. It could be, of course, your favorite space, in your sanctuary, whatever you call it. But for me, it could be outside in nature. Connect with real life, with birds and singing. For me, connecting with the birds. It says, look, listen to them. They don't care about anything else. They just carry on singing. They're still great teachers, aren't they? They just. The whole world could be upside down, but for them, they will carry on singing because that's what they love doing. And sometimes we allow the outside situations to interfere with our emotions so much that we are disconnected from what we really want, from who really are. And Catherine, I so much resonate with what your work is. It's when my intention is, since under the energy of new moon, my mission, my intention is to bring that color healing and heart intelligence combined in schools. So to bring these two together and help children. But children cannot be helped by themselves. Children can only be helped with their adults, we're actually surrounded by. They are actually coming from a heartfelt, space. And they can release whatever fears and anger and all of that. And they can be there to support children. So it's not working only with children, that's what I'm saying. It's actually working with parents, working with people in immediate family, and also working with teachers like myself. So I know now why I actually decided to step out of that educational system, because I was destined to do other things. You see what I mean? It was really hard for me to understand, because I had invested so much in being a teacher in a school environment, and a number of it was actually good for me, but another part of it was really putting me in a very awkward position, to the point that I was not feeling good about it. So there you are. So I'm here now, and I'm glad I've got all of you in my life, and you've got each other in your life. So that's beautiful. Normally I would do a color meditation on the call, but we only got a few minutes left. But if you like any meditations, actually you can find them on Color Mirror's website as well. And if you're attracted and you feel like, I'd like to have a bit of a bath and so on, you can connect with people like Moira or Catherine or Susan or Sarah or Joe, myself. And then you can actually order the bottles directly, and you can find all the bottles again when we connect on our website, and also on the Palomira's website. Okay, so if you feel right, I like to really go for a shift and change something in my life, Right. So is there anything else you like to add that you haven't still? If something's really, really, oh, I should have said that. Oh, I haven't said that yet. You know what I mean? Sometimes, said, we get that. Is there anything else that you would like to add at this point in time? Sarah? Okay, let me just, there you are.
Something came up. Something came up for me when, am I good?
Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
Is this thing on? Something came up when you were speaking about how you invested so much of your time and energy being a teacher, and now you're switched over to this. I've been having this conversation with a lot of people lately about having these seemingly two separate lives in some sense.
Mm-hmm.
And once we go through that turquoise experience and we start to trust the flow, we can see how these seemingly two separate worlds can actually come together and support each other. So I really like that you said that.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I would like to say something that you see. I didn't mention in the start, but I like to say it now. I'm really proud. I created a 21-day program called the Golden Keys to Prosperity, and I've got two ladies here that actually they are featured on this program. Both Jill Barham and Moira Bush. They are two of the prosperity visionaries. Bringing, prosperity. I wanted to demystify what prosperity is. I just feel that, of course, money activates and shifts things, and we can have lots of things in life and experiences. And for me, money equals freedom. However, prosperity is many other things. So during this course, we're actually seeing prosperity from different angles. And apart from working with the Golden Gaias, you Susan and Sarah and Catherine and Joe, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The beautiful bottles in the Carol Mirror system, that each bottle brings its own energy, connecting with different things, connect with different colors. And I added the beautiful olive color, because it's connect with number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. And this is part of also Moira's, you are connect with the Wheel of Fortune. I am connect with the Wheel of Fortune. And I thought, okay, so I tweaked a bit, the whole thing. I made it a little bit my course. Yes, Moira and Jill are actually interviewed myself, including many other visionaries or thinkers or authors, coaches. And yeah, it's Constance actually has started watching it, you have. But it is 21 days, I said to myself, oh my God, it's quite long. But you can watch it, of course, you get it every day, and then you can watch it on the day, or you may feel, okay, I'd like to go back. And I have allowed sometimes for a bit of a pause as well, so you can go back and reflect and do some exercises and some meditation practices. And so whoever is doing this course and whoever says yes to follow this course, I would love your feedback, because I know that's the only way you can make things better. So, and I'm intending to tweak things, to change things. Or you might say it's perfect as it is, which is great as well. but you know what I mean. If I have a feedback from you, that's the only way I can say yes. I can add something or change something and make it more that suits your style as well. Right. So the Golden Keys to Prosperity, if you'd like to find out more about it, you can get on my website, but also it is on Source TV, okay? And for those of you who have actually said yes to being on this call, you will receive some sort of a complimentary copy just to see what it feels like, okay? So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on the call. And Moira, thank you for being once again. And I totally agree with Constance. It is when people want to know more about color, then go for it, because you will find things about, you say, oh, I didn't know that, but actually it does make sense. And it's a very practical approach. And that's what I love about it as well, because I know lots of things about color, but it makes it very down to earth. Yeah, you're bringing, I guess your intention, Moira, was to bring spirit down to earth. The magenta, bringing the bridge, bringing the two together. So you've done a fabulous job. Thank you so much, Moira. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so blessings to everybody, colorful blessings, prosperous blessings, and we'll see you. The next call is on the 10th of July, and then the follow one is on the 24th of July. So hold on a second, I am organized, I put it down here. Right, Monday 10th of July, it's on intuition, miracles and faith, okay? And it's on a Monday 10th of July, and then the following new moon, which is only for women, it's on the 24th of July, and it's dedicated to Saint Mary Magdalene. So we're bringing the energy of so a bit of choral again, opalescence, and feminine essence. Okay, so fabulous. Okay, lots of love to all of you, and the recording will be available for you to watch back and share with your folks, with your connections, and spread all these beautiful vibes to the world, whatever you do, whatever your passion is. Okay, lots of love from me, Chrisoula, from Moira, from Catherine, Susan, Sarah, Jill, Joe, Constance. Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye from Color Street.